Alright, getting back into the swing of things. Now what? You know, now that I think about it, there was that one video I made a long time ago. Yeah, that Skylanders video, was it? Let me see here. Yeah. It was one of my most popular videos ever. Didn't I promise to make a Skylanders Retrospective? How long ago was that? 9 months ago? Oh boy, I've been out of it. Well, desperate times call for proportionately desperate measures. I hope you all enjoy this.
Hey, yeah, we should come together. Let's be heroes in the night. Like spotlights beaming in the black sky. We can lift the darkness with our light. 'Cause everybody's in harmony.
Together now,
Harmony.
all together now,
Harmony.
together now,
Everybody's in harmony.
all together now,
Harmony.
all together now,
Harmony.
together now.
Greetings, fellow Portal Masters. I am the Gamer Nerd, and I have come to guide you on a retrospective on one of the greatest kids franchises of all time, the Skylanders Retrospective. This has been a long time coming. Ever since my original videos on Skylanders, I've wanted to give this series the much needed time it deserves. The problem was, I just didn't have time to do it. But due to reasons I won't get into this video, I now have the time I need to create a retrospective on this wonderful franchise. So, please allow me to indulge myself as I tell you the tale of the elemental heroes, that being the Skylanders. Cast your mind back to 2011, before the COVID, before the political drama, before everything. Even before Amiibo, there was this game, Spyro's Adventure. This game popularized Toys to Life. But in order to fully understand that, we need to go into the game and fully understand why on earth this game was so popular. Why on earth it spawned a genre, and how on earth it would spend all of our money. It's difficult to know where to start with this series, so I guess I'll start with the story. Skylanders has a very simple plot, running down the base idea that these heroes were banished to another dimension, that being Earth, after they were attacked by an evil known as Chaos. Now, this is basically translation for, we have toys and we want you to buy them to play this game. But giving us a lore reason as to why this is the case was actually a really good idea. And I'm surprised that no other Toys to Life franchise has ever tried that before. Guess they're not as cool as Skylanders. After Eon tells us a bit about Skyland, the game finally begins. And it is here where we are treated with the big gimmick of the game, to put the Skylanders on the portal to even play as them. And we're treated to the most satisfying thing ever.
Now is the time, Portal Master.
That's the good stuff right there. Once you put your Skylander on the portal, you're now free to move around and explore the world of Skylands. A world that's being ravaged by an evil known as the Darkness. An evil we don't fully see until Superchargers, so I'll just get into the darkness there. It was actually Eon's job to protect Skylands alongside the Skylanders before he was killed in the explosion that sent the Skylanders to Earth. Now, the game makes a weird point to say that Eon survived the explosion, but he was changed into a spirit. I'm pretty sure that means he's dead, but whatever, we'll just go with it. So after Eon totally did not die, he now entrusts the power of the Portal Master within us, and we now control the Skylanders, sending them back to Skylands so they can protect the world. Using the powers of air, life, undead, earth, fire, water, magic, and tech. Yes, earth and life are two different elements in this game. Don't question it. While you are going through the story, you will get scenes with Chaos and his minion Glumshanks. As we go through the story, we will see more of these, and we find out that Chaos, despite putting on a brave and scary face, is actually a huge goofball. Meanwhile, Glumshanks is more of the reasonable guy, without an evil bone in his body. It's pretty funny, and that's how we would describe Skylanders as a whole. Pretty funny. Most of the jokes don't age too well, but honestly, coming back to this game now makes me appreciate all the simpler aspects of the game. But one thing I should bring up, this game is actually graphically gorgeous for a 2011 game, especially when you compare it to other games that were coming out around the time. Yes, this is no God of War, but it's still pretty cool. There were a lot of details added too, just like how if you attack the sheep, they will puff up. If you attack the NPCs, they will actually wince in pain. You don't get to see that a lot nowadays. Nowadays, it's becoming increasingly rare for small details like this to be added. So that's basically the story of the game. But what exactly do you do in it? Well, you go through the level in an RPG fashion, meaning there's a lot of fights and a lot of leveling up. Similar to the Lego games, you need to smash objects in order to find stuff for your character, mainly gold. This gold can be given to a character named Persephone to get upgrades, but in order to get one of your upgrades, you need to find another collectible. This game is also a collectathon. There are multiple different items you need to find. Well, you don't need to find them, but it's just nice to find. Story scrolls give you extra story on the Skylands world. Legendary treasure are basically just extra gold. And soul gems are how you unlock your final upgrade for your Skylanders. When you do that, you can also watch a short trailer for each Skylander. So with all that in mind, how is the combat? Not bad actually. The combat feels fluid and each move feels like they have impact, which is something most fighting games can't even get right. Everything in this world has flavor and it's really appreciated. But there is one small thing that kind of bugs me. You see, this is a collectathon platformer, but there is one move you don't have. That's right, you can't jump in this game. I know, that is sacrilege, but it's true. You couldn't jump in the first two Skylanders games. That's right, first two. Giants had this problem as well. But then how do you jump? Why? Via the jump pads, of course. It feels very weird to have the ability to jump, but in order to do it, you need to do it in a roundabout way. Instead of, I don't know, just having the jump button. This feels a little strange. But fortunately, it's the most egregious thing this game pulls. Well, that and the fact that you have to pay for all the characters, but that comes with the territory. From the way I describe this game, it almost seems like there's nothing wrong with it, but if I had one complaint, it would definitely be the boss fights. because they're all the same. All of them, except for the Earth Elemental boss fight and the Tech one, but nobody remembers those. Basically, I'll just tell you exactly how they go. Chaos comes in, spouts a few lines, summons minions, which are based off of Skylanders, which is pretty cool. Then he spouts more lines, summons the water spell, spouts more lines, summons all three at once, plus spell, and then the fight ends. You can play that throughout the entire game, just substitute water for any of the other elements. It is frustratingly simple. What's worse is that they're all really easy. Except for the undead one, but nobody likes the undead one. Seriously, if we never see this again, I will... You know what? I'm not even gonna finish the joke. It's not worth it. Once we collect the magic elemental source, aka the eternal magic source, after controlling some Archeans, which is clever setup for the next game. I'll go into Archeans in more detail when I talk about Skylanders Giants. We finally get to take the battle straight to Chaos himself, and it's exactly the same boss fight as we've already established, but this time you actually have to fight Chaos himself. Not much to say on it. It's honestly one of the lamest boss fights in Skylanders history. Not the lamest, but it's up there. Fortunately, they all get better from here. We're not done yet though, because believe it or not, Skylanders had DLC. You may argue that every single character not in the starter pack was DLC, but there were also a bunch of expansion levels. Empire of Ice, Canaverous Crypt, etc. I won't go into detail about them here, but it's weird to say that this was one of the earliest examples of story expansion DLC. So what's the final verdict of Skylanders Spyro's Adventure? A really simple yet great start. Skylanders wouldn't be where it is today without this game. I know that's very cheesy to say, but it's true. There was one problem that most people had with this game on launch, and that was the name of the game. It was called Spyro's Adventure, but Spyro didn't really have anything to do with the story. Getting real Thomas and the Magic Railroad vibes here. And due to the redesign of Spyro, many people were very quick to turn their backs on this game. But I'd argue, if you gave it a chance, it was actually a really good game. And I would say, maybe not one of the best games of all time, but it was certainly the start of something grand. Thank you all for watching my very first Skylanders Retrospective episode. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. That's all I ask of you. Also, comment below how I can improve on future videos. I am planning to go through Imaginators, and also, not that it's important, but something that I really find cool is the fact that we are almost at 100 subscribers. I don't really have a plan for what will happen when we reach that mark, but I appreciate all your support. Thank you so much. And, as always, I've been the Gamer Nerd, and I bid you farewell.